Hello everybody! Welcome back to G-Bear's Off-Grid Ways, a homestead in the desert. And we have a few clouds overcast here, and as you can see, cutting right through the center of it there's one of those Skyrider trails. And that's what these all are. These are all from Skyriders. Now earlier today, we were fully overcast since I got up this morning, and it looked like it was going to rain in a few places. And I checked radar, and it was raining in a few places. And just never got here. I have one neighbor that keeps blaming another neighbor for stealing all the rain up there on the mountain. Crazy people. Here we go. All right, so let's get to it right off the bat here. First thing I want to say is the little short that I just posted today. I did not film that. That is something I'm not sure if it's my Samsung phone or if it's my YouTube channel, but or maybe a combination of both. And they're making up these little they call them memories. So they take pictures out of my storage, either on the cloud or on my phone, and they put them together in a collage and then put a little music to it and then send it to me every now and then. I think it's like once a month. And then it's a little short video. So it's perfect. It's under a minute or right at a minute. So it's perfect for posting as a 1 minute short on my channel. And I'm not really into those types of videos that have nothing but just music playing in the background. If I want to listen to a radio, I'll turn the radio on. And, hey, what the heck? I just figured I'd give it a try and post it. And I got some positive comments back on it. So I'll be doing that whenever they send me one. I will be posting it. You won't be overwhelmed with them, but every now and then you'll see one pop up. All right, so little old Cinnamon here heard me doing a video and had to come over and see if she can get up to me and jump up on me and photobomb me. Didn't you, Cinnamon? Huh? All right, let's get to it. We got to do the revelation of what is it Wednesday that we did on Thursday, yesterday. And I only really got a couple of proper guesses on it. I didn't bring my list out here, but I will post the names of those who made it to the entry a little later on today, because it's a little early to be posting this video. So I'll wait until it's normal post time and to see if I get anybody else that gets in correct guesses on what the tool was. But right now, I'm going to reveal what it is. All right, so here we are. I got the phone in my stand here, in my tripod. I don't know why I keep trying the pod, but anyway, here's the tool. Okay. And there's nothing on it that'll give away what it is. I've had some guesses that it's a crimping tool for ring terminals for wires and things like that. Nope, you all got it wrong. This has to be used in unison with these two tools right here. Okay. Now this is how it works and what it is for. Here we go. I have in the vise a bolt with a rusted nut on it. And you can't turn that nut. It's stuck on there, as you can see. All right? So, when you have something like that and you need to get that nut off of there, they invented this tool. It's called a nut cracker or a nut buster or whatever. So you put it over the nut like this and then tighten down. Let me get up so you can see me doing that. You tighten down on this part And that moves this little cutter, this little chisel, down onto the nut. Okay? Now you want it on the flat side of the nut. And then the other flat side opposite it goes at the bottom here. So the next thing you would do is you would take your 3/4 inch wrench, put it on top of the nut right up here, and tighten it down to where you feel it's fairly tight. Right about there. Alright, then you take your hammer, and it doesn't have to be a ball peen hammer, any hammer will do, and you give it a couple of whacks on top. Now, I don't have it tight enough in the vise, because I'm not going to actually cut the nut off, because I want to save that. I can use the nut and the bolt. So anyway, you would tap it a few times, and that's going to make it sink into the unit like a chisel, like you're hitting it with a chisel. And then you would tighten it down some more. See, it was loose there, so I could easily turn it. So you give it a couple more taps, and then you would be able to turn it again. See? So you keep doing that until it cuts all the way through the nut. And then you should be able to loosen the nut with an open end wrench like this and take the nut off. All right? Now, you would actually have cut all the way through it. You can see there's a mark in it. With the tool, you would actually cut all the way through it until it split the nut. It's a nut splitter. Okay? So, we had a couple of people who did get that correct. I'll post their names here on the video as to who it was and who got the entries correct for this what is it, Wednesday 2.4. And this will be the last one of this month, and then we'll be starting a new one on New Year's Day. Yeah, well, late on New Year's Day, so everybody have time to get rid of their hangovers and sleep it off. Yeah, I never understood that. Why does everybody have to get totally roasted on New Year's Eve? What's that all about? What do you achieve? You just feel like crap all the next day for the start the new year off. You just feel terrible. Well, hi there, Midnight. Let me clean those eyes. All right, you got that one cleaned? All right. Okay. So no jumping up. Get down. Come on, get down. Get down. No jumping up. Thank you. All right. So, I got a couple other items I need to cover here. Donna wanted to know, elaborate a little bit on first flush systems. Now, you use a first flush system when you're collecting rain off of a roof. Now there, I hope this wind isn't bothering you too bad. There doesn't have a first flush. That goes straight into the barrel. This one has a first flush. So what's a first flush? Well, what happens is when the rain starts, it's going to wash everything that's on the roof. Dirt, dust, bird poop, all of that stuff is going to wash off the roof down into the gutter. And then the gutter is going to carry it over to come down the pipe. Now, the first part of it, with all the poop and the dirt and the dust, is going to come into this section right here, the downward section. And then once it fills up to that Y, it gets to that point, the water is going to start going down the other one. So the water that's going into the barrel is cleaner than the water that came down the first flush. And then I can drain the first flush off down through that hose. While that's filling up that other barrel, I drain that into a bucket, like say that yellow bucket there, and I use that for watering a tree or a bush or something to that effect. And then I can put that hose back in there again and leave the valve open. So now all the water that's coming off the roof, because it's clean now, goes into this barrel and fills up the second barrel. Now what I will be doing, so I don't have to switch that over anymore, is I will be making a hose with 2 female ends on it, so I can connect it from this hose bib to that hose bib, and I'll just leave the valves open. So as the water is coming into that barrel to fill it up, it'll also be filling this one up. Water finds its own level, so they're going to both fill up together. And then when I see water spilling out at the top of this one, I know that they're both full, and I can't take any more. Then I don't have to worry about first getting it coming out in the rain and getting the first flush emptied to get the poop water out of it. All right, now, that's a very simple first flush for a small roof area. If you have a large roof area like this one, these are 40-foot shipping containers, and they're 9 feet wide. So I've got 2 of those, and then in the center, I've got a 12-foot garage, okay? So I've got 18 and 12 is 30 feet. So I got 40 foot by 30 feet, or 1,200 square feet. And if you divide that by 0.6, that'll tell you how many gallons of water I should get in a 1-inch rain. Now that's a lot of area to clean. So I have this longer tube here for a first flush. All right. And I got a T there. So once the tube is full, it automatically diverts the water into my totes. Now, because it would take a long time to fill this whole tube up to get to a point where it would finally run the other way, it would probably use, well, figure each one of those about 11 inches. Every 11 inches is going to be 1 quart of water. That's a lot of water to waste if you don't have to. Now, I used to have a bucket right below it, so I could crack that open and drain that water out whenever I needed to after the rain. Because this goes into that first tote, but the tote is tied together with a 1-inch manifold pipe between the two, so they both fill up together. And then these down here, oh, it looks like I got to level that one. These down here, I actually have a hose connected to the manifold on that end that goes into this one, and then these two are connected by a manifold so that they're connected together. So as that one gets overfilled, then they'll start siphoning off automatically into that one, and then these two fill up. And then once I see that these two are full, I shut off the valve over there where the hose comes out, and I let those two finish filling up. And then I've got 4 totes of 275 gallons each filled up on a rain. All right, so what did I do to eliminate the problem of having to fill this whole tube all the way out? Well, I took a Smart Water plastic bottle and put a cap on it and turned it upside down, and I put it inside of that tube. It fits just perfectly inside that pipe, so that what happens is it's sitting in there now right down at the bottom because this has been drained off. Now as the rain starts, it's going to come down there, and the water is going to go underneath that plastic bottle, just seeping down between the sides of it. And that bottle is going to start floating up. Okay? So as the bottle floats up, it's going to go up a little bit faster than waiting for it to fill up with water. And that gives me about 1 quart extra of space. It gets up to where the T is, and it can't fit inside the T. So it becomes a plug in the bottom of the T, so now the water can go that way, out the T and into my totes. That is a first flush system. All right, now, some people actually, to make it even more efficient, is instead of connecting it directly like I did to the gutter system, they have a space between the gutter and the tube, and they put a screen in there to catch all the big debris so that doesn't end up down in the pipe. But what I have to do is, you see I got screws in the sides of that cap right there. Every now and then I have to take the screws out of that, pull that cap off, and clean the heavy debris that's gotten down inside of there out of there. And you can see where it's left a stain down the container wall there. That's because it does leak a little bit. So it saves me the trouble of having to come out here and drain it after a rainstorm. It drains itself. And it's all dirty water anyway, so it can go on the ground, right? All right. So, for a final, this is Tomcat's old security room. Okay, and I gave him a window here for the hot summer days, and I would tie this thing up open so the air could flow through there, and the dogs or coyotes couldn't get into Tomcat. You see over there where his little pooper scooper is, there's a little doorway there. And that doorway comes through a little hallway inside of here and comes out here. So Tomcat could come in or out through this little opening, and it's too small, and because it's a zigzag, it was no way that a dog or a coyote could get in there if it was chasing Tomcat. Tomcat could run over here. I used to have a shelf right here. I took that off so I could get in here and work on my stuff. But there used to be a shelf on here. And I had some little wood stacked up here. So Tomcat could jump there, jump onto here, and then go inside. Okay. Now this was originally anchored a little bit better. I can see the board back there is loose now. But Tomcat's no longer here. I'm just keeping it just in case another stray cat ever comes along. I can teach them how to use this section to be safe from the animals. Oh, look at that big old snake right there. Never saw that there before. That's a big old rattlesnake. Interesting. I'll have to get that out of there. He apparently got tied up in this mesh and couldn't get out. And he died there. Well, that's one more rattlesnake I don't have to worry about. So I've got a big sheet of sheet metal on top of here. I'm going to show you inside while we're here. I got these little locks on the door so that they couldn't open. And this also has a flap that opens up for the summertime to let air flow through. And I used to have a little igloo type room sit right here. So Tomcat could sit right there on the pillow or go inside the little igloo. These were his feed and water dishes, which I kept here for him. And on this side, see if I can get in here. On this side, he had his little beds and a litter box. And the litter box and that stuff was for those days of inclement weather where he didn't want to go outside. But normally he would come out and go underneath here, and then he would use the whole ground as a litter box. And this is all leftover litter from him that I can't pick up the bucket very carefully. I'll have to use a shovel under it, and I'm going to be throwing that into a trailer, and I'll be taking a trailer load to the dump after I get my money settled up here. And all these are rocks that I pick up out in the desert that are curios, and I want to check out further and see what's in them. Now this is bull quartz until you turn it this way, and then you notice that there's a little slot in there where there used to be some other mineralization, and then there's some rusted stuff here. That's iron. So it does have a little bit of mineralization in it. And I said, well, what the heck? I can see it coming out the bottom there in a spot, and another one over there, and some more over there. I'm going to break that open someday and see if there's anything else inside. If I get one flake out of it, that's one flake I didn't have before, right? And this is iron ore. I know, iron ore what, right? All right, everybody. So that's about it. I did have a joke for you today, but I forget which one I was going to use. It's on the piece of paper that's inside the cabin right now. And since we're at 20 minutes already, I'll save that one for the next round. Comments and questions down below. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and hit that thumbs up. Hit that like button. That really counts for us. It helps us a lot when you hit that like button. This is G Bear signing off.